Adam Thielen going to the Carolina Panthers. He's going to be 33 years old. They gave him a 3-year deal with $15 million guaranteed, $14 million guaranteed. That surprised me. But he's the number one guy right now for Carolina. So Thielen, Jakobi Meyers, KJ Osborn. Heath, how do you rank them right now?
Low. None of these guys are in my top 45 wide receivers. They're all between 46 and 52, I think. Right now I've got it Thielen, Osborn, Myers. But, I mean, Carolina could take a wide receiver in round 2 and change that, I guess. I'm not real excited about any of them.
Jamie, you got Thielen, Osborn, Myers. How do you rank them?
Osborn, Meyers, Thielen. I don't really want any part of Adam Thielen. But Osborn I'm excited about, and I do think that there's a chance for Jakobi Meyers to be okay in Oakland without Darren Waller there. But Osborn's my favorite of that group.
So talk about it. You say you're excited about him. He did very well from a fantasy points perspective. I think he caught 5 touchdowns maybe in 6 games without Thielen in 2021. Thielen did not miss any games last year, but Osborn kind of came on strong late. So talk about Osborn and when you draft. We have a draft tomorrow. It's a 3-receiver PPR.
Yes.
3-receiver, 12-team PPR league. Do you think Osborn, give me a round where you think he'll go?
Oh, I mean, I'll probably be one of the more aggressive people to draft him aside from Thomas Schaefer, the Vikings guy. But I would start to look for him in a 3-receiver league in the round 8 range.
Okay. And Heath, what about you? Not in your top 45.
Right. I think I've got all 3 of these guys right around round 10.
Okay. Do you want to expand on Osborn, Jamie, or anything?
No, I mean, you hit on it. You know, when Thielen was missing, he was a very good player 2 years ago. I think this is part of the reason why they moved on from Thielen, aside from money situation. They feel like there's more for him. The people who I know, who know people in the Vikings organization, feel very confident about KJ Osborn and his, development. And I think this is his time to shine. So I do think that there's a step forward that he can take, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do now with the opportunity to do it. Now, if they draft a receiver, which I think is certainly in the possibility, that would be a downgrade. And you have to factor in what he did in 2021. There was no TJ Hawkinson, so there's a bigger piece of the passing game there. But I still think that this is an opportunity for him to benefit from all the attention that Justin Jefferson will receive, that TJ Hawkinson will receive. There's clearly a rapport already established with Kirk Cousins. And again, I think whenever you see these type of moves, when there's a pushing of a guy out the door, there's usually a reason for it. And I think it's because KJ Osborn's ready to take that next step.
I know what the answer is for Heath, because he's not that high on Osborn. But Jamie, who you think you're going to draft? Well, I'll ask both of you, I guess, since it's an ADP question. Who do you think you're going to draft more, Hawkinson or Osborn, if things don't really change for the Vikings?
I will probably draft more Osborn just because of the way that I draft tight ends.
Yeah, I think I will probably draft more Hawkinson because I'm in a lot of drafts with some guys who really like KJ Osborn.
Okay.
But I think Hawkinson's probably going to go before I have him. I have him in round 6. So the answer might be neither one of them.
Okay. And last question here. I know who Heath's going to say. Jamie, I don't know if Osborn's this high, but Osborn or Brandon Cooks?
They're very close to me right now. I think I have Cooks ranked ahead, but it's in the same range.
Yeah, and I've got them. I'd agree. I think I have Cooks in round 10 with those other 3 guys. So they're all right in the same range.
All righty. All right, last rankings question for now. The Bears and the Lions running backs. For the Bears, it's Khalil Herbert and Deontay Foreman. For the Lions, it's DeAndre Swift and David Montgomery. How would you rank those 4? Heath, you can start. Give me half PPR. So Herbert, Foreman, Swift, Montgomery. How would you rank them?
Right now, I'm going to go Montgomery, Swift, Herbert, Foreman. I do think Foreman could be a real problem for Khalil Herbert. And I think either one of those guys, if they could consistently get 18 touches a game, would be first. But I kind of expect it to be a 60-40 split unless and until somebody gets hurt.
All right, sorry. Say the rankings again.
Montgomery, Swift, Herbert, Foreman.
Okay. Lions, Bears. How about you, Jamie? Half PPR.
Same for me. I had written the free agency winners and losers, and I think I led with Herbert, or maybe I led with Justin Fields, but Herbert was like the first player I wrote about aside from the lead of the story. And it was like 2 hours later they signed Deontay Foreman, and so I had to do a quick edit. I think I said it on the show. If they had gotten through the draft without taking a running back of significance, and I think Deontay Foreman has some significance, but a running back of significance that Herbert, when I first did my rankings following free agency, he was in top 15, and so now he's outside the top 24. So I think Foreman's enough of a problem, and I also don't think that they're done adding to their backfield. So I agree with Heath. It's both Lions, Montgomery ahead, and then Herbert ahead of Foreman.
I think this is also a pretty scary stat. Here's the 10 games that Montgomery, Herbert, and Justin Fields all played together. Montgomery averaged 13 carries per game. Herbert averaged 8 carries per game. Fields averaged 10.6 carries per game. And from the 2-yard line or closer, Fields had 3 carries, Montgomery 2, Herbert 1. 5-yard line or closer, Fields crushed it. 10 carries, Herbert 4, Montgomery 3. So you're talking about a 3-way split. And the goal line back last year was mostly Fields, especially inside the 5-yard line. It was a little bit closer inside the 10, inside the 2-yard line. But yeah, that's kind of reminds me of the Eagles a little bit.
Just before free agency started, I put together the opportunity index that I do every year. And that's mostly to show who has room for it to add somebody. But I also keep track of total running back opportunities from the year before. Lions had 546. That was the third most in the NFL. That's rush attempts plus targets. The Bears were 26 with 430. So 116 more chances for the running backs in Detroit than there were in Chicago last year.
But that's catches, right?
No, that's targets plus carries.
Targets. Sorry. Yeah. So that targets, I think, is a huge part of that. The Bears were 9th in running back carries, but yeah, they just, especially when Darnell Mooney was healthy,
and they were 9th, but they were still 60 behind the Lions.
Oh, okay. But the targets is huge. I mean, when Darnell Mooney was healthy, Justin Fields, I think the running back target rate was about 15%. Now, I think it went up after the Mooney injury, but now you got Mooney and you got DJ Moore. It's, who leads the team in who leads the Bears in carries?
I hope it's Herbert, but it would not be surprising if it's Foreman. I mean, you just look at even the years that they're coming off of. Foreman has been, as a replacement, a pretty good replacement option for the teams that he's been replacement for.
A workhorse too. Yeah, I mean, not surprising to see him get 20 or more carries.
It could be Fields.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Of the 2 running backs, Heath, who would you bet on more carries? Let me ask you this: does the 1-year, $3 million contract, very small contract, does that tell you anything?
Well, I think it was a very similar contract to Rashad Penny got. So I think there's a chance for Foreman, but there's no guarantee, is what it tells you. I would bet on Herbert, but I wouldn't want to bet on it. I think we don't have enough information yet. I know that there were quotes from Foreman. He is not taking this job thinking that he's going to be a backup. He is expecting to compete for the lead job.
All right. We'll see how it shakes out. Are these guys ahead of Rashad Penny?
Yes. Not Foreman, but yes. The other 3.
Yeah.
But Penny will fall once the draft. I mean, they're drafting a guy.